Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Today I have with me a group called the Ascension who want to talk about universal law, love, and fear. One of the things they said very clearly is that there are only two laws of consciousness in this dimension that we live in while incarnated in human form, and that is the law of love and the law of fear. One is of creation, one is of destruction or transmutation. There are only these two laws, and we're going to get into that very shortly. And it's very exciting when you think about how actually elegantly simple creation really, really is. And that if you understand its rules and the way it functions, you don't have to go through a bunch of suffering anymore. You can surrender your suffering, literally. Isn't that a nice idea? To be able that you can surrender your suffering. Yes. I also want to say welcome again to all the students who joined our 101 Masterclass, which began with the orientation on Saturday and the two follow-up events on Sunday of sensing energy and practicing yes and no's with two of our Masterclass instructors. And today, of course, I will be leading the program today with the Ascended Masters channeling at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So again, to all the students of the Masterclass, welcome. It's going to be really exciting 3 weeks for all of us. For any of you that are interested in our Masterclass series, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. We have an upcoming course, November the 18th to December 8th, called Masterclass 102 Liberation. And this, I highly encourage you to, if you can't find a way to register for this course is a course that focuses on dealing with your mind, your emotions, and your body, which assists you in awakening your soul to be liberated from your mind, to no longer be subjective in the paradigm of the cycle of suffering. So please go and sign up. The course starts November the 18th. So please, please, please save yourself a lot of time and unnecessary suffering and join us for that. Any other announcements I need to make? I don't think I have to make any other announcements other than that welcome message. And again, shout out to all my patrons and YouTube supporters for all your support. To my TikTok followers and TikTok family, thank you again for all your support. We are in amazing times right now. There are only two forces that exist in all of creation on this dimension. That's the creation of the energy of love and the function of the energy of fear. They are both just energy, but each produces their own unique result. And many of you are finding yourself bouncing back and forth between fear and no fear. But there are only these two forces for you to consciously or unconsciously engage. The first force is the force of love, which is the force of creation. The second force is fear, or the force of destruction or transmutation. The function of love is the extension and promotion of new creation and the expression of new life forms. The function of love is very deliberate in that it produces more life, like itself, but varying in kind and form. Whereas the function of fear takes all that which is not of love and transforms and transmutes it into an alternate form. It destroys. And you only have one of two choices in your existence in this physical universe. You will either function deliberately and directly from the energy, the universal energy of love, or the universal energy of fear. Many of your religions around this world have divided these two functions of the creation into what you call good and evil, God and the devil. They are only those two polarities, the yin and the yang. We simply label them, for the sake of humanity, as love and fear as every single fundamental behavior, thought of any individual conscious of themselves, you can only function from either the energy of love or the energy of fear. There is no other energy on which you can rely. You will either be a creator and a contributor to life, or you will be a destroyer and a transmuter of life. That is, to change life from one form into another. But there are not any of you that can escape the responsibility that you have in being part of creation. You have no option other than to be an expression of love or an expression of fear, to have thoughts of love or thoughts of fear, to have actions of love or actions of fear, to create processes based in the function of love or the function of fear. Your social, political ideologies, your philosophical foundations are all based upon either love or fear. There is no middle ground. There is no escaping responsibility. There's no sitting on the sidelines of creation. And so it becomes fairly easy to evaluate if one becomes conscious of their consciousness, that you are aware that you are aware, that you can evaluate thoughts and evaluate actions and define clearly, are you of love or are you of fear? Are your thoughts of love or fear? Are your actions of love or fear? Are your beliefs of love or fear? Every single action or thought that you will ever consider or engage in can only be of love or fear. There is no other. And these two foundational pillars of creation have existed from the very beginning of manifestation in this corporeal forms, that is the physical dimension. And those who have been conscious of their function of love have loaned themselves to producing what you call the wonders of your world. And those that have functioned from the function of creation of fear have produced those things that you call the destructive elements of the world, your wars, your greed, your suffering, your pain. But there are only these two that you have to choose from, each of you individually, collectively as well. That what you do individually adds to the overall functioning of your collective consciousness. And you can only operate, you can only think, you can only act from love or fear. That makes it as simple as it can possibly be. The only remaining consideration then is the evaluative process that you may consciously engage in to define if your actions, your function of existence, is of creation or destruction, love or fear. And it becomes fairly easy to evaluate for the results if you cannot be conscious enough in the moment to define this thought or this action is from love or this thought or action is from fear. If you cannot define that consciously, then your results will tell you what your choice has been. If you are suffering, then the function of your thoughts, the function of your actions are predominantly of fear. If you are prospering and delighting in your life, then your thoughts and your actions are predominantly functioning from love. The outcome will always tell you the truth of your function, that is, the conditions in which you find yourself. And even those in these things you call war, everyone in war is a participant. Everyone in war is a participant. Everyone in humanity is a participant. And you can see as you observe the function of destruction beginning to unfold upon your social and political systems, a domino effect begins one way or another towards love or towards fear. But each and every one of you is partially responsible for the sum total of what is occurring. You cannot escape the function of creation. You cannot sit on the sideline and understand that if you are choosing a side in war, you cannot win. For to choose the function of war is to choose the function of fear and destruction. And those of you that will choose the function of fear will cause destruction. And those who choose the function of love will cause creation. Now, the function of love, which is life word, will preserve and protect itself to exist, just as a tree will do its greatest effort to survive a great wind, its assertion of its life, revealing its strength. And so you must come to an understanding, are you living as a function of love, or are you living as a function of fear? Are you thinking as a function of love or thinking as a function of fear? The results always reveal the truth. So whether you are on the good side or the bad side, if there's a war, the result speaks the truth. That the function of fear dominates your thinking and your action. For if there were no war, if there were harmony, if there were wealth and prosperity, and your people were enjoying the vitality of their lives, then we would say you were exercising your function of love greater than your function of fear. But you cannot escape that you are participating in what is occurring here in this physical dimension. And you can easily ascertain, is my function of love being exercised, or am I exercising the function of fear? One will give you life and give it to you more abundantly, and the other will transform or transmute the conditions of your life from an existing state to another state. You see the ruins of cities long since past, tens and hundreds of thousands of years of humanity upon this planet, organized humanity, highly evolved humanity, that reached a pinnacle of the expression of love and then turned ignorantly towards the expressions of fear, and the decay of civilizations, the rise of civilizations are from the function of love and or the function of fear. There is no middle ground in this. There's no middle ground. And so you can look upon your politicians and those around you and look at them through those lenses. Is there words of love or are there words of fear? Please understand, you must choose. You can choose that you are love, or you can choose that you are fear. And your choices will bear the fruit of the results of either. But there are none among you on this physical dimension, in this universal manifestation, that can escape the responsibility you have of choosing to be a creator or a destroyer of time, space, and matter. It is better to say a reorganizer of time, space, and matter, as that is what fear does. It reorganizes matter in one fashion, and love reorganizes matter and experience in another. But our simple reason for coming today was to remind you, all of you that will hear these words, that you only have two choices of thought and function throughout the existence of your entire consciousness in this physical dimension. You can either function from the energy of love, or you can function from the energy of fear. And thought, emotion, and action can only be demonstrated from either love or fear. They cannot be demonstrated outside of those two. There are those amongst you that have opted to leave this dimension, to leave the experience of separateness, of indivisiveness, and have stepped outside of creation. But those of you that are here have chosen to be here, to be part of this creation. And you only have the one choice to make. Love and fear are what you have before you, one hand or the other. And all that you can look upon, all of the people that you may see or hear, every one of you in this physical dimension can only function as an extension of love or an extension of fear. There are no other options. The spectrum of love is vast, and the spectrum of fear is vast. But you can only choose one or the other. You cannot serve, as your great master Jesus said, you cannot serve two masters. You may serve only one, the one of love or the one of fear. One is of creation, one is of destruction. And the existing conditions in your life will clearly represent what God you worship, for there is only love and fear. There are no other choices. It is reduced down to that simplicity for you here today, that you can begin the process of evaluating if your thought is of love or fear, if your action is of love or fear. There are only those two. Is that not simple? It is as simple as it is possible to be. And that every thought in your mind and every action and gesture that you carry out can only come from the heart of love or the heart of fear. It can only come from one of these two. All that you will say and all that you will do and all that all have said and done throughout all of creation can only come from either love or fear. It can only come from one of those two spaces of being. Those are the only choices. Love and fear are your only choices. And you can only choose one or the other in any moment. And you can go back and forth from love to fear and love to fear. And the experience that you're in right now, the dominant state of your life, emotionally, mentally, materially, will reflect what you offer, what you indulge in, what you execute. Are you choosing love or fear? Is easily recognizable by the conditions of your world, individually and collectively. And we can get into the elements of your consciousness that are able to reincarnate into this dimension, to enter and leave and enter and leave and enter and leave, which many of you have done, and that you can reap the effects of your causes, as you cannot escape the causal nature of your own creative process. So many of you find yourself on this wheel of life, birth, and death, this cycle, because you've set in motion chains of causation that keep you vacillating between love and fear, which keeps you in the polarity of this creative process, keeps you unable to transcend it. And you find yourself stuck in this creation, leaving and returning, reaping cause and effect. Many of you having been great leaders and great warriors, causing great harm and great humanitarian wonders as well. Both good and evil that you have perpetuated in other lifetimes, and you cannot escape the effects of your own causes until you choose to surrender this polarized existence, which is not what we came here to communicate about. But we did come here to communicate specifically that you only have these two choices. Each will lead to its own ultimate expression and outcome of itself. If you wish to define love as the beneficent expression of infinite consciousness that is good, then you call that your God, the divine, and that which you deem to be infinitely bad or destructive or evil, you call that the devil or evil. But as long as you have these two polarities that you are vacillating between, you remain in the circle of birth and rebirth. As long as you choose to participate in the causal nature of this creation, then you will continue to reap the effects of what you cause until you surrender this. Till you surrender this. But if you wish to experience the function of creation that we call love, which is a function of deliberate creation, an extension of love, then there are certain aspects of your awareness that must be developed so that you can evaluate your thoughts, select and choose them deliberately, that you can evaluate your actions in advance of performing them. One action will take you to what you call your God, another will take you to your devil. One thought will take you to the divine, one thought will take you to suffering. But there is no in between here. So this is the simplest reduction of understanding that we can come to from all that you know, that you have but two choices from which you can exercise your function of consciousness in this physical dimension. The choice to function from love or the choice to function from fear. Each will lead to its own result. Fear leads to destruction. Love leads to creation. To understanding that you are a function of creation and you are a function of destruction. And that cycle of good and evil, love and fear is what gives rise to all of the experiences that you have found yourself engaging in this lifetime and many others. It is your dancing between the two, back and forth from one to the other, switching partners, so to speak. One day it is love, one day it is fear, one day the thoughts of love and the thoughts of fear. And you vacillate back and forth. And you see that vacillation grow and evolve into the outpicturing of your civilizations as wondrous and proud and profound as some of them have been. Equally so, their destruction matches that process as well. And you can only choose one or the other. But choose you will while in this dimension. If you're seeking an experience, then of course you will have to make choices in order for that experience to unfold. And if the choice is of love, then the experience of love will unfold. If the choice is of fear, then the experience of fear will unfold. But choose you must. When we asked this one to ensure that he placed this upon the shirt, it was to remind you that there's a fundamental truth for all life, even that life that manifests itself in the deplorable acts of destruction that you see upon your planet today, that the seed of all expression is life. And that seed is fundamentally love. Life is love. And that the manifestation of that life can alter and change according to the consciousness, recognizing that it has free will to choose, that the manifestations of life can be good or evil, love or fear. But even the most heinous and deplorable manifestations that you have observed in your civilization, still at the root, at the very seed and core of their being, is the seed and truth of love, of life, of creation. It cannot be denied. It can be delayed. That is all we have to say today. That you have those choices between love and fear. that every thought you shall ever think, every act you shall ever do, while in this dimension of karma, in this dimension of creation, in this dimension of polarity, that you will experience only the expressions of love or fear. You can only carry those out, but that you are free to evaluate. In that process of evaluating, is this thought, is this action of fear? You may choose to keep hold to that thought and action which is of fear, and you shall reap the reward of that. And if you choose to let your thoughts and your actions be of love, you shall reap the reward of that equally. The rewards of all actions, whether they come of love or fear, there is a reward to every thought, to every action. Choose carefully, humanity. Choose very carefully. For what you will choose in the coming years shall define whether you find another great ruin of cities in the sand, or you find a great civilization standing upon the face of this planet once again. You have only those two choices. Whether you are rich or poor, all of your thoughts and actions are born of love or fear. There is no other mother of thought and action but love and fear. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I want to thank the Ascended for being present with us this morning. I love their energy. It's a beautiful collective of individuals from several stellar systems as well as the galactics that communicate collectively. Again, you are love. That is the fundamental truth of who you are, right? People who go to war, people who act out violence upon others are lost in the pain created by fear. I don't believe anybody in this world, if they were not in pain, would do harm. If you're not in pain, you're going to feel good. Anyway, that's my own personal opinion. I really appreciate their energy. Thank you for the super chat, Rainbow Warrior Patty. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Any message for my friend Allie, who's here with me now, whether from spirit or a past loved one, to assist her at this time? The first words I'm hearing right now are, weep not, my dear child, weep not. Shed no tear, for love abides in you. Love abides in you. Welcome it. Welcome love into you. Welcome love into you. Welcome love into you. Wow. Thank you. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Rainbow Warrior. I appreciate that. Someone saying, this is hard for many to understand. Those who understand are being reprimanded for even suggesting. This is the pivotal moment where those who understand must speak out in love. Absolutely, Sonia. Absolutely. Hello, Yolanda. Good to see you. Hi, guys. Someone's asking, is Cher going to respect me more as a person? Listen, you must respect yourself. If you depend upon others to respect you in order for you to feel whole and complete, you are going to suffer terribly at the hands of their judgment. It's so important that you come to an awareness of your own value so that it is not determined by the world around you, but by the spirit of your own thinking and acting. So acquire a respect for yourself, that it does not require the respect of others that you be fulfilled in your being. For if you expect others' respect to be that which nurtures your sense of well-being, then you will be in for a series of disappointments unnecessarily when you have the faculties and the ability to look in the mirror and see how beautiful you are. To remember your own intrinsic and unique beauty. To respect yourself in mind, in body, and spirit. Then you will not be so dependent upon whether the world approves of you or not. You will only demand that the world approves of you if you do not believe that you have enough value yourself, or if you understand your own value, then you do not require or need it from others in order for it to exist. When you truly love and honor yourself, you will not need or be at the mercy of others' charity of love. Love is not a charity. Love is a function of thought and action deliberately chosen for its qualities to improve and enhance the expression of life. For those of you that are on TikTok, I have with me a group called The Ascended, and we come here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Shortcuts for Your Soul, and we let the divine beings, the ascended masters, others speak a message through me on Mondays and Wednesdays, and on Friday we have an open Q&A. So I'm really glad to have all you guys here today. It's an amazing time we're living in. We're watching the energy from the sun. The energy from the sun is beginning this process of transforming our consciousness and creating new life forms. Everybody, where did the dinosaurs come from? Where do all these new animals come from? Where do these different types of bipedal species come from? Chimpanzees, gorillas, humans. Where do all these creatures come from, you ask? The consciousness of light is organizing and reorganizing matter, time, and space all the time. That beautiful glowing orb in the sky that we call the sun, they tell me this, that glowing device is a divine consciousness that's practicing and asserting its function of creation upon all these planets. And it changes them. Different life forms emerge with different types of X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays, different intensities of photons and different particles that come into play, that restructure and reorganize DNA. This is happening right now. Your DNA is being reorganized right now by the light. And it doesn't matter what science wants to label it as: cosmic radiation, X-rays, gamma rays. Doesn't matter what labels you give to this consciousness that's affecting creation upon us, but we are being affected by it. They tell me, if you really want to get into the loop of what's going on, then align yourself to love consciously. It's hard to enjoy life if you're suffering. I love that, So yeah, if you're feeling these weird sensations, heart palpitations, headaches and stuff going on, you are being changed. Every human soul on this planet is being modified energetically, psychologically, physically. And you can participate in it or be just subjective to it. You want to take good care of your body. You want to eat proper food. You want to be properly hydrated. If you want to be experiencing the upside of this energy. Otherwise, you can do things and think things and be in a way that's not based in love and experience a different experience of creation. But not one of us can escape it here. They keep telling me that you cannot escape the responsibility of creation while you're in this dimension. You can choose to surrender polarity, like so many of your gurus have done. They said, no, so many of our gurus have just elected to leave the circle of creation, of life, birth, and death. Yogananda is a good example of that, where he literally just lied down and said, I'm leaving. Many masters have done this. Christ did this, Buddha did this. They're not the only masters in existence. Krishna, many have understood that process. But yeah, this is a wonderful time we live in. Let's get into this. Question from Katrina. Any message from my guide that likes to touch the right side of my head? Yeah, clear your mind. Clear your mind. When you feel the touch, do not get caught in the sensation of the touch, but feel the information in the sensation of the touch. You see, when we interact with you energetically, many of you get caught up in the physical symptoms of our presence. Many of you get caught up in the phenomena of our communication, the numbers, the sequences of numbers, the sounds, the synchronicities that you observe and experience. You get caught up in the phenomena of those and miss the very message that they are intended to communicate to you individually and collectively. So when you feel that wonderful touch on the right side of your head, do not be so enamored by the touch, but feel the information. Feel the information that is in the touch. Do not get caught in the touch itself, but feel the information in the touch. Wow, that's wonderful. Great question, Katrina. Brad be rad. Yeah. He's saying your husband Brad, Karen, your husband Brad is telling me the time will come. Be patient. The love is not gone. Only the body is gone. Love is not gone from us. Love is not gone from us. Hear what he's saying. He wants you to understand that love is not gone from the two of you. That love is not gone. His form is gone, but the love is present with you now. How can you, if you believe and understand what he's just said to you, that the love is not gone, then is not the love more important than the flesh? Like, listen to what he's saying. Your love is not gone from you two. It's beautiful. Wonderful love there too, Karen. Oh, you're very welcome. Wonderful. Yeah, I got to respect yourself. Someone's asking, Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Do I have a soul waiting to come in for me soon? I'm being told to tell you. Let's see if I can just. There we go. I'm being told to tell you, yes, you do have a soul that wants to come into your life. Yes. However, you have to be open and receptive to allowing it rather than trying to force it. Allowing rather than trying to force it. But many of you that are seeking to have children and are having difficulty having children, please understand that some of your difficulties in having children are also orchestrated events, that there are certain substances that you have been given to ingest, whether you want to be aware of this fact or not, that impede and inhibit the function of procreation and its effect, in this case, the creating of little babies. So be mindful what you consume and indulge, for these things will affect your body's ability to function in very specific and precise ways. But yes, this dear one, don't be so demanding of this child. They will come in the right time, in the right space. There must be a space of allowing and not the space of fear, which is your concern. You wish to experience love, but you are fearful that you may not. So how can you attract love if you are in fear? Although fear is a call for love, you must be prepared to receive the answer. You must be prepared to receive the answer, which is love. And in order to receive love, you must surrender your fear. And then the door shall open. And tell he who is part of this with you to do the same, to surrender his fear also. For both engaged in the deliberate function of co-creation of a child must consciously choose this. And if you are creating a child, understand that you chose it. And it chose you. Wow, that's really cool. Nice question, Jacqueline. Oh, you're welcome, Katrina. Question from Baba Gira. Is staying at my current job more advantageous for my growth, or is looking for other avenues of income? It's not an either or, Baba Gira. And it's not this job or go to another job. It's this and look for other sources of income. Do both. So many humans are conflicted because that one word, my guardian angel John told me this 5 years ago. He said, one of the things you have to get rid of is get rid of the word or from your vocabulary. And so anytime you want to find yourself using the word or, substitute that word for the word and. So instead of doing this or this, which creates immediate conflict, he said, when you start going, should I do this or should I do that? you create an immediate conflict inside your energy, and then you don't know what to do. So you don't just do this or this, you do this and this and this and this and this. Make it an and, Baba Gira. Stay in the job you're doing and look for alternative sources of income. Not either or here. And cannot tell you how much relief I've seen that understanding bring to people. Oh, thank you so much for contributing live. Really appreciate it, guys. The stars and the hearts. Stars asking, any message from my grandma Elizabeth? She says you're really stubborn at hearing her. She says you're really stubborn at hearing her. Yeah. You're not alone. She wants you to know that you have to stop thinking that you're alone. Stop thinking that you are alone. Then your heart will lighten. Then your heart will lighten. She says that you keep yourself in too heavy an energy. You stop this idea of you're isolated, that nobody loves you, your feet are cold. You're not alone, right? Just got to learn to hear. You can learn to tune into the energy of those you love that have left the physical dimension. I want to say it again. You can learn to tune into the energy of those you love that have left the physical dimension. They're just not in a physical body, so they can't communicate to you. I love it. I got Archangel Michael saying, Archangel Michael coming and saying, let your negative go. Surrender your negativity. Surrender your negativity. Surrender it. I don't know who that's for, but he's saying, I have to say that. Surrender your negativity. All of it. Wow. Whoever that was for, I hope you received it. Tanya Gallant. Hi, Tanya. Will my results be lupus or cancer? I've been so unwell so long, waiting on the next doctor. Tanya, I'm first of all, I want to send, yes, I'm asking Archangel Raphael to just go to you right now. The surrender, you got a lot of fear that you're holding in your heart right now. You got to let all that fear go. I think it's probably where Michael came in for you. Surrender your fear. Like surrender it. Just let it go. You can do it with a breath. They taught us this wonderful method. The Ascended Masters taught us this method of releasing old emotions out of your body. Old emotions, like the fear you've been carrying around for so many years, that's given rise to the creations and your suffering. You can literally, with a single breath, breathe in and release the fear. Just deliberately say, I'm going to release all this fear with love and grace. If you're going to release fear, or if you're going to release anger, you're going to release rage, release it with love and grace, but use the breath. Again, come out to our Saturday show, and you'll get a chance to experience how the masters will show us how to do that process of using the breath to release old emotion. But you have to release the emotion. What the Ascended were saying earlier, that if what we're experiencing in our life is the product of whether we've chosen love or fear in our thoughts and our actions. What we're experiencing in our life reveals to us is if what we've chosen is based in love or fear. A lot of people think that people that are dying in war, and it's a terrible thing that people die in war, but there's also, you cannot escape the effects of your own causes. And so if you've caused pain and suffering on others, you will experience pain and suffering. You will. I know firsthand. Right? Yes. I'm not sure what you mean. How is this possible? How is it possible? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I feel the message about children resonated with me as well. Are there any other messages for me? Thanks. The one that resonated with you is the one that's for you. It really is. Someone asking, what message do I need to hear right now? If you didn't hear it, what the Ascended were saying is in any moment, in any moment of your existence, even right now, you only have one of two choices of existence, love or fear. And your life is a composite of that. That's the message you need to hear. Are your thoughts of love or fear? Are your actions of love or fear? It's really simple. There's only those two, love or fear. And I'm just paraphrasing what they're saying now. But we only have those one of those two choices. We can choose love and fear, but we can't not choose one. You must become aware of it. Are your thoughts of love or fear? Which one? You can only serve one. That's right. Hot air balloon. Surrender all negativity. Yes. Multiple sclerosis impeding my walking. Oh dear, so scary. I realize fear with love and grace. I release fear with love and grace. That's beautiful, Crystal. Yeah, multiple sclerosis is a get away from technology. We know another person who's growing through that process of MS. It's very interesting. And what that person received as a message, they were told they had to get away from all electrical intrusion. All electrical intrusion. That meant computers, cell phones, anything that's going to generate strong electromagnetic fields. Some people's bodies are very susceptible to higher emanations of electronic energy, and it can short circuit the nervous system. It depolarizes the components in the myelin sheathing that go around the nerves. And again, I'm paraphrasing what was transmitted a few weeks ago, but that the electrical intrusion can change the polarity that naturally holds the myelin proteins around the nerve to keep the sheathing around your nerves. So when the myelin protein breaks down, the electrical signals in the nerves can't go properly. It's like cutting a wire and then exposing it to water. So you need to get away from electronic intrusion. Really, you need to do that. Get away from electronic intrusion because it's affecting your physiology, right? It doesn't matter what you want to call it. The polarity of the substances that are in myelin sheathing that allow them to normally bond to the outside of the nerves, the polarity has been changed by electrical intrusion, right? That's what they told our friend, that he had to get away from these intrusions of electrical energy. And again, whether you choose to do that or not is up to you. But certainly releasing your fear will come a great way, because fear is not who you are, right? It's an energy you're choosing to align to. But I'm sending you much blessing. I'm asking Archangel Raphael to give you a healing too. But releasing fear will go alone itself a long way. Yes. Yes, Amanda. Archangel Michael has been with us today. We've had the Ascended with us today, and somebody's grandmother came in today as well. It's a wonderful time. Hello, Facebook user. Good to see you, Facebook. Don't get many people making comments through the Facebook app at all. Someone's asking me to comment on the 2 October eclipses. Personally, we're just witnessing changes in our energy field. When I ask them about them, they laugh. They say humans are so caught up in not recognizing that the external phenomena is because of the internal phenomena of your being, your creation. Your internal being, you beautiful human souls, are creating the conditions in which you are experiencing what you call your life, this incarnation. It does not matter what name or label you will choose to give to these things, they will all affect you in a variety of different ways. If your predominant energetic association in thought and action is with love, then your experiences of these phenomena will be of love. If your predominant function of action and thought is of fear, then you will experience the phenomena of these things through that energy. And that is as simple as it can be. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing, this dimension, this creation we live in. Let's carry on. You're very welcome, Trish. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy to have them here. Mary Hernandez is asking if Mary Magdalene has a message for me or any other guide. She says that she comes through your diamond heart in your service to others. She comes through your diamond heart in service to others. What do you mean by that? The purest light of love that she holds in her heart this is what I call the diamond heart, the function of her love. I come through that with her. We are in alignment in this. Wow. Thank you, Mary. Good to see you here today. Wonderful. Scrolling down, got time for a couple more questions here. Hi, Charlize. Yes. You found yourself waking up a couple of times. He keeps waking you up. Your kitty keeps waking you up in the middle of the night, and then you wake up and you think that they're missing. This happens quite a lot. They'll interact with your energy field, and you'll start feeling them. Your grandmother, your grandfather, your cats, your dogs, the ones you love. Just because the body ceases to exist does not mean that the consciousness is out of range of your experience of it. You can't experience them physically, but you can experience them energetically. And your cat keeps waking you up at night. So the next time you wake up at night, close your eyes and just feel their presence. You cannot. Some people can actually see the astral image of their body. You can see the astral image of a loved one if you're able to drop your attachment to them having to be a physical body. That the only way they can communicate to you or be real is if they have a physical body. I'm often told that people believe that if there's no body there, that they do not exist, and that's just not true, right? Right now, there are thousands of signals and stations floating around through the air all around us right now. This is the example they gave. All these signals moving around, waiting for an instrument through which they can express, and this is what mediumship is. Being a medium means you're able to tune into different signals and bring that information through, just the same way as your radio can tune into different stations and bring it through that radio. But it doesn't bring all the stations through, but you have to keep changing the tuning. So you can learn to change the way your mind and your body function and tune into different frequencies of energy and information that are available to you. In this case, the woman is asking about her cat. She can tune into the energy of her cat and understand that the presence of this being is still with her. Energetically, it's just not the delight of the senses that she would like. Many of you get so caught up in the delight of the senses that you miss or overlook the very relationship that still exists energetically between you and the other. But your loved ones do not cease to exist as consciousness. They cease to exist as a body that you know, but they do not cease to exist. And you can learn to tune into their consciousness, to feel their presence, and even communicate with them. But you must learn to tune your awareness to a different frequency other than that of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, which is a frequency of receptivity for this dimension of experience here. Wow, I love that. Not sure, no notifications coming. I'm not sure why notifications aren't coming. Drusilla, do you mean that you didn't receive a notification that I came live today? I'll have to check that out. Find out if I may have to change a setting in my streaming software. Hi, guys. Guidance on spirit. My dog saw in the kitchen other night and would not stop barking at it. Remember okay. I get that. I get this is a great grandfather on your mother's side. And your dog, again, animals can only respond instinctually. That is to say, your dog does not know this person physically or energetically. They were unfamiliar to the dog. And the dog naturally reacts to what it doesn't recognize through either fight or flight. Because we had cats that used to watch the spirits, and they would watch it moving around in the air around us, but they had no fear around it. But dogs are far more protective of who they're with, right? But this was a great-grandfather that came to visit you to see how you're doing, to see how the line is going forward, and your dog reacted from that place of instinct. So again, don't have no fear. Your great-grandfather's here, right? Understand that. You can tune into his energy. Also, if you want, you can find a picture of your great-grandfather and show it to your dog. Show the picture to your dog and get him familiar with their energy, so when they come by again, he won't react instinctually, right? Which is based in fight or flight. Drusilla's saying her dog barks at the Arcturians. That's funny. Yeah, it happens a lot. Yes, Crystal. Remember, everything in this universe that we live in as physical beings is electrical in nature. It's based on electrical charges, both positive and negative. And you really want to get to a place where the electrical intrusion on your body is beneficial. And that can be altered. You can change your consciousness so that even the electrical intrusion from like a cell phone or a cell phone tower can actually be beneficial for your body. And I was given evidence of this about 4 weeks ago, when I was told where I was doing some outdoor work for a period of about 3 weeks. I was going to work exclusively outdoor. And these 3 weeks were completely sunny. And my guardian angel John said, take your shirt off and work in the sun directly. No suntan lotion, nothing. He said, just take your shirt off and stop fearing the love of light. So I literally did. I took my shirt off and I worked in the sun for many hours every day for a period of 3 weeks. No burning, no negative side effects. He said, if you fear love, love can harm you. I said, what do you mean? And he said, the sun is the giver of life for this planetary manifestation. Why would you fear the giver of life? If you have no fear towards the giver of life, then no harm can come upon you. So he said, so I did. I stood, he told me to stand in the sun and then feel it as an extension of love. And it went from it being this burning hot sensation to this just beautiful, loving sensation. I worked like that for like 3 weeks out in direct sunlight. And you can ask my wife. She was there and witnessed it. And it's an amazing thing. What we've been trained to believe can contradict what's good for us, right? If we don't understand. But no harm can come nigh thee. Everything is electrical. Yes. Be happy, Lindsay. He wants you to go forward and be happy. Thank you. He said he received all he needed. Thank you. You helped him move on to his next incarnation. Right? He's very grateful. Right? And now it's your turn for happiness. He says it's your turn for greater happiness now. He's coming. He wants me to tell you he is coming to you. Whoever this other fellow is, he's coming to you. His other partner. Very exciting. I love that. Someone else is saying, I didn't get a notification either. Had to go to the main page to access the stream. Wow. So I have to look into that. So that's Animals also saying you did not receive notifications from YouTube that I'd gone live. Okay, I will have to check on my settings, or if maybe YouTube is trying to block some of the information coming out. We'll find out. I know apparently there's a lot of that going on, but I don't believe that that's happening here. I believe that every one of you that is here right now are meant to be here right now. All of us are meant to converge today in this transmission, this information, because you are ready to receive it, comprehend it, understand it, and integrate it into your lives. And I believe that's true for all of us. Oh yeah, yes, I do readings. If you want a reading, you can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can book a reading either half hour or 1 hour long. But yeah, I do readings. And if you've got really important questions, personal questions, send them through my PayPal account. For a small donation, I'll answer your question if I didn't get to it here. Yeah, I know. Oh, you're very welcome. Someone's asking, will my paintings sell for a lot of money? Because of the fear you have around it, you're blocking that. Your uncertainty is blocking the worth of your own art. Understand the value of your art. If you truly feel the value of your art, then that value will be reflected by what unfolds. If you do not believe in the value of your own art, you will restrict the value of your art from coming back onto you in the form of what you call money. You must truly rejoice in the value of your art. Wow, that's pretty simple and straightforward. Last question on TikTok. And someone's asking, did my sister suffer when she was dying? The body went through some difficulty. But your sister herself did not suffer. That soul did not suffer. They were quite relieved, actually, to be free of this incarnation at this time. She says I'm going to be coming back to you, sis. I'm coming back to you. She says, I'm coming back to you. Like, specifically, she's going to come back to you, connect with you. So be prepared for that connection. She's saying this will be in a real incarnation. She's going to come back into a physical form and reconnect with you. Yeah, it'll be really obvious because you'll know it. You'll know it. Someone else is saying, I got notification. That's interesting. So several people are saying you didn't get notified. A couple of people said you are getting notified. I'll have to look into that. Sorry, I'm just what's going on here. There we go. So let's see. No other questions from YouTube. Again, I'll look into the settings, guys, and see if we have. I have to take some changes in the settings to be sure that you get notified. I want to thank the Ascended, Archangel Michael, Mary Magdalene, the various beings that have come through today to communicate with us. And again, I want to especially remind you that what that message was earlier, that you only have two energies you can live from, either love or fear. You cannot serve both. And in any moment, are you living in love? Or are you thinking in love? Are you being in love? That your life is defined by whether you are a function of love or a function of fear. Anyway, much love, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful and joyful day. And I'll see you guys on the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Bye for now.